this very special event.
And as we get things underway, we want to start by acknowledging the territories that we're on. The traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis.
What we know as Toronto is that it is covered by Treaty 13, signed with the Mississaugas of the Credit, and the Williams Treaty signed with the multiple Mississaugas and Chippewa bands. These treaties form the basis of our relationship as settlers with the first people of this land, and honoring these treaties is an essential step, one of many, on the road to reconciliation. And the aims of reconciliation, as we all know as Canadians, is to address the ongoing impacts of colonialism while strengthening our relationship between governments, institutions, and Indigenous people. And it must be woven into everything we do, especially on occasions like this when we're talking about the political sphere, where we are gathered to talk about the systems of government and the power that will determine what Ontario will look like for generations to come. So thank you all for being here today.
Today we are joined by so many friends, longtime NDP members and supporters, caucus colleagues, union members, to hear some exciting news from the woman who has so proudly represented this community for the past 4 years as MPP, Marit Stiles. It has helped to shape the person that she is. It's a working class community, an urban community, a community where arts and culture workers live next to skilled tradespeople. It's different from the suburban Ottawa community that I represent, where seniors and newcomers and young families live side by side with teachers, healthcare workers, and public servants. But despite the differences in our communities, the issues that people are facing aren't all that different. The rising cost of living, the emergency room closures, social assistance rates that are just cruel, and the housing emergency. And one thing's for sure, the Conservatives are not doing a thing about it. In fact, they're making these problems worse.
And that's right, Chandra, and that's why we're so glad that you and your team were able to flip that seat and turn it from Tory Blue to Orange NDP. Now we're gonna have to do that again, not just here, but right across the province. And that's an awful lot of seats to flip from blue to orange. But I know we can do it with the hard work and the right leaders behind us and in front of us. And I know that Marit knows this, and you know that Marit knows this. It's her ability to connect with people and to bring them along that has inspired me to stand with her today. During my own election campaign, I got to know Marit a little bit better, and I can tell you that she is the real deal, folks. She leads with her heart, her vision, her values, and she speaks her mind. And for all of us, she'll stand up when she needs to. She contacted me almost every single week during the election just to check in to make sure I was okay. Can you imagine? She's running for her own seat, and I heard that she did this just not with me as a new candidate. She was checking in with so many members of the team to make sure that they had everything that they needed to be successful. And that's what caring, compassionate, strong leadership is about, and that's what Marit is going to bring to our party. Friends, it's never been a more exciting time to be a New Democrat. Our party has strong foundations. It is well positioned to hold the Conservatives to account and to get the real change that Ontarians need today, but also 4 years from now when we replace this government. With Marit at the helm, we will organize, we will build, we will grow in every part of this province. There will be no seat left unturned. And that's why I'm absolutely thrilled, and I know that you are as well, to get this party restarted. Are you ready? That's right, someone special, and you will be hearing from her soon. But please help me in joining another member of our incredibly strong, passionate, and effective NDP team who's here to support Marit. And that is Butila Karpoche.
Hello, everyone. I'm Butila Karpoche, member of Provincial Parliament for Parkdale Hyde Park, and I am so excited to be here today with all of you. This is a huge moment for our party and for our province. We have a once-in-a-generation opportunity to bring people together, to deliver hope for a better future based on our shared values of fairness, solidarity, and compassion. It's time to inspire people again with bold solutions to the very pressing problems we face. Time to bring people together and invite them into our movement. To renew the promise of our party and turn it into a force that can win. And there's no one better suited to lead us there than Marit Stiles. I've known Marit for a long time as a community activist here in our West End community, as party president, school board trustee, caucus colleague, and a dear friend. But over the past 4 years, I've seen her skills and passion for this work firsthand. As a fierce advocate for our kids' schools, taking on the Ford government every day, but also as a mentor, a booster, and a leader within our caucus. She's someone who listens and draws from the experience and ideas of people around her. Someone who believes in bringing the best in a team. And we have a great team. Our official NDP caucus has fought hard against Ford's regressive agenda these past years, and we've made progress. But as long as Ford's Conservatives remain in power, people and communities will continue to struggle. We owe it to them to build and to win a better future. That's what Marit is offering in this leadership race, and that's why she has my support. And now, let's hear from the woman herself. Please join me in welcoming Marit Stiles.
Thank you, Chandra and Kristen, for all your kind words, your support. We're going to hear from some of these other folks in a few minutes too. Kurt here, I'm going to talk about some of the things that Kurt's been doing. Thank you all of you for joining us here today. It's really amazing. So folks, my name is Marit Stiles, and today I'm launching my campaign to lead the Ontario NDP. Government out and replace it with a government that will work for you. Let's face it, things are far from normal right now in our province. When I talk to people, not just here in my community, but all over, I hear a growing sense that things aren't right. I know that you've all felt it too. People have been hit hard by a pandemic that took loved ones away too soon and changed Ontario in ways, well, that we have yet to fully understand. Now, just as we're easing back into public life like this, people are being pummeled by the rising cost of groceries and rent, you name it. Under Doug Ford's Conservatives, people are working harder than ever, but falling further and further behind. Spending 60% of your income on rent, that's not normal. Waiting 12 hours in emergency before you see a doctor, that's not normal. Seniors being shipped off to private care homes far from their families, that's not normal. But I'll tell you that because Ontarians have been told all of this is normal so many times, we almost believe it. In fact, we've been conditioned to expect even less. That feeling of hopelessness, that feeling led to the lowest voter turnout in the history of our province, and it helped Doug Ford slide right back into power this June. And he hasn't wasted any time, right? Making it easier for private companies to profit while healthcare gets worse and emergency rooms close. It's outrageous, it's unacceptable, and together, we are going to do something about it. So today, I'm launching my campaign for Leader of Ontario's NDP to be your next premier so that hardworking Ontario people have a government on their side once and for all. I'll tell you though, to bring about that change that the majority in this province want to see, right? We're going to have to work hard, and we're going to have to work together. It's a principle that was a staple of my upbringing. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. I was born and raised in Newfoundland. Yeah, in a place that really couldn't be more different than where we are today. I came to Ontario to go to school, and like so many over so many generations, I chose to stay here. Back when I was growing up, we looked to Ontario as a place of opportunity where people could come and find community, raise a family with good schools and good jobs and a family doctor. And while the promise of opportunity still attracts newcomers here, fulfilling that Ontario dream is becoming harder and harder to reach each and every day. I settled and raised my family not very far from where we are here today, actually just a few blocks away, and I've been fortunate to support communities from Red Lake to Timmins to Ottawa to Sarnia through my work. Those experiences taught me a lot about the character of people who call Ontario home. My own values and my own passion for a better world, though, that comes from my family. My mom is the toughest person I know, and she taught me early on how to stand up to bullies, all 5'1.5" of me. And my dad taught me never to take our planet or anything else for granted. And my own kids, they teach me every single day that we can't be satisfied with the status quo, that the need for change is urgent, and that we're failing their generation. And that's what drives me to serve my community, first as a school trustee and then as a member of provincial parliament. And I am honored, I want to say I am so honored to be joined by some of my caucus colleagues here today that are leading that fight for better. These are the people that inspire me every day with their tenacity, their compassion, their commitment to the people they represent. Thank you all so much for your support. I also want to thank the education workers, the teachers who are here with us today, and the students too, can I say? We have fought tirelessly for our kids' education over the past few years, and our schools are stronger for it. Thank you. Thank you. And we're going to hear a little later, but I want to mention somebody who's standing right over here, Kurt Barry. He's the head of his local at a factory, a manufacturing plant just down the road from us here, chocolate factory. This is a modern day David and Goliath story, okay? Kurt and his fellow workers here in Davenport took on one of the biggest multinational corporations in the world, and they won. To work with you, Kurt, and all of your colleagues, your working folks in your community, to organize community members right here in Davenport to support your strike and to see that solidarity get results. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. The New Democratic Party was founded by a coalition of labor and progressives, forged together to build political power. These are our roots. They're mine too. As a former director of bargaining and policy, I helped negotiate national agreements, stronger wages, better working conditions, and building coalitions across the labor movement at the same time. While Doug Ford pits worker against worker for political gain and poses for photo ops while he's steamrolling collective agreements and bargaining rights, we know what true solidarity looks like, and what we can get done when workers are united within a strong NDP. There's also so much that we can draw from outside the world of electoral politics, right? Young people are organizing and winning in the fight for climate action, for reconciliation, for racial justice. We can learn from that. We can do more to center the voices and experience of racialized people so our movement is stronger and so people see themselves in it. By learning, listening, and renewing our focus on organizing on the ground, we can build resistance in our communities to the harmful policies of this government. We can turn around that hopelessness that people feel and inspire them to join us. We can have a government, an NDP government, that understands the urgency of the climate crisis and will take action to limit the damage and turn this ship around. We can have a government that uplifts people with disabilities and breaks down barriers instead of consigning people to poverty. And we can have a government that makes a strong public education system the foundation for our collective success rather than starving it. And let me say, we can have a government that builds public health care instead of breaking it down. But to do that, we need to win. We need to win more for our children and our neighbors. More opportunity, more equity, more access, more hope. C'est notre responsabilité. Les gens comptent sur nous pour le faire. We need to build power in communities right now so we can win the battles before us and lay the foundation for victory in the next election. That's 2026, folks. Training more organizers, building up our riding associations, empowering them to reach even more people. That's how we'll get there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. We can learn from people who are winning right now across the province, from Kenora to Cornwall, from Atikokan to Amherstburg, from Moosonee to Mississauga, and all points in between. Together, we can inspire people to think bigger, demand better, and join us in this very urgent work. Are you with me? Are you with me? Let's do it. All right, let's get this started. In the coming weeks and months, I'm going to be joining you in every region. I'm going to hear your priorities and how we can build to win. We're going to sign up new members and build our party from the grassroots up in every corner of Ontario. It's an exciting moment for our province I'm excited, and I invite each and every one of you that are watching or listening today to sign up, to join my campaign as a first step in defeating Doug Ford's Conservatives and winning more for people. This right here, this is a powerful act that we can take right now, and it's one that's going to make a real difference. And in closing, let me just say this to all the hardworking people out there who move this province forward each and every day. If you're a nurse, a PSW, an education worker, or a blue-collar worker in construction or manufacturing, join our campaign to ensure better working conditions, better pay, respect, and dignity for the work you do and for a government that's on your side. To young families and new Canadians, join our campaign to ensure that you don't have to give up on your dreams of a great future right here in Ontario.
Yeah.
To Indigenous people, First Nations, and everyone who lives and works in the North, I invite you to join our campaign so we can ensure reconciliation is a reality and that Ontario starts investing in your communities, not just extracting from them. And finally, to all of those who weren't motivated to vote the last time round, to those of you who think there's no point, that the wealthy and the powerful are always going to have the upper hand, join us and we can change that. Together, we can ensure that opportunity is afforded to everyone and that hardworking people get ahead. Together, we're going to build a bigger, stronger, more diverse NDP that's ready to win in every corner of this province. Friends, once we reject the idea that we should expect less, when we raise our expectations and start to imagine what's possible, there's no stopping us. Thank you. Merci, miigwech.